everyone. How's everybody? It's like in the 60s here today, and I get a little time for people, for Facebook to solve the notice and people to see it. Okay. So it looks like it's going. I've got two projects I'm going to do today. I see everybody is making like beehives. And I got the rope and stuff to do it, but I don't want to do the same thing that everyone else is doing for crafts. So as I was looking at how they had some of them stacked up and that they were doing, I was like, I bet I could make a bird bath out of one of these little terracotta pots by using a bigger lid. So usually they sit on a lid. I mean, it's not a lid, but it's like a plate that it sits on. But these aren't the size that match up. I got one that's bigger size top, or bigger size bottom, and smaller size pot. And so my idea is to go like this and then hot glue it down here to kind of give like a little bird bath for birds. So hopefully, I don't know how well the hot glue is going to work on the top of the pot, but we'll find out. So I'm just trying to peel this off. The little stickers, which of course fall apart when you take them off. I guess I really don't need to take it off, it's going to be underneath, but I like to have them off. So if you pop on, go ahead and feel free to hit like, or comment, just so I know you're out there. That keeps doing it. So other than the bird bath, so I'm going to make sure that the hot glue holds. If it does, then I'll decorate it up. I have no idea how well the hot glue is going to do on this. As I also am going to use my E6000, but that needs like at least 24 hours to bond on it. So that should be that project, and see that it holds up, hopefully. But before I do this, before I start this one, my other one is I'm going to do another welcome board, so I just need to wax one side of it first, and then I can go ahead and give while I hot glue that and my hot glue gun's heating up, the wax on this will have time to settle. Hey everyone. Oh, hey Melissa. How are you doing? I'm doing two projects. So I'm doing another welcome board, which I'm going to wax, and then the other one is, because I know I have all the stuff to make the beehive, but everybody's making the beehives. So I'm like, I'm going to try something a little different, and I'm going to try to make a bird bath using one of the terracotta pots, and see how that works. Because I don't know how the hot glue is going to work on the terracotta pot. Because most people that I've seen do it have not used terracotta. They've used like one of the more plastic ones, but so that I can give this bird bath to my mom to use like in her little outside rose garden area, I want to make sure that it's gonna, stand up to the weather, and the terracotta will do that. When you're putting on wax, just a nice layer. It's to protect the wood, the stain, the board, and it'll protect the transfer that I'm using. I'm using a silk screen mesh transfer to put on the welcome. One little more spot here. And I'm only waxing the side that I'm putting the transfer on. You don't need to wax the whole board. I'm going to seal the whole board afterwards, that way it can be used outside in case someone puts it on their porch. Alright, so it does not take long for the wax at all to dry. So I'm just set it back there to be good. Alright, and the wax I'm using is, I usually just get like the Soft Touch mini wax. It works pretty well. It goes in. I've done lots of stuff, and I've only made like a little dent in the jar. If you're doing just like the little chalk couture projects, we have a little small jar, which is just as good. It's actually preferred that you use that. It's like it's clear, but it also doesn't have any kind of smell or anything to it, which is nice. All right, let's see if my hot glue gun is heated up. And it's not heated up yet, because I didn't have it plugged in all the way. Darn it. Okay. So what's everyone doing? It's in the 60s today here. 2 days ago we had snow, a couple inches. So we've had pretty much all 4 seasons in 1 week. I know my camera's a little off. I want to make sure you can see the project, but I can raise that up just a little bit. It's hard because I have a delay between me and Facebook. Alright, so ideally what I'm going to do is put E6000 on here, which is the clear liquid that takes longer to do, and then the hot glue gun to really hold it, which I need it to heat up. Alright, so I might end up doing my other project sooner because the hot glue gun needs to heat up. Alright, so while this heats up to the side, hopefully it doesn't come unplugged again, I'm going to put this one to the side, and I'll do this one after because the welcome board's all ready. It only takes like a minute or so for the wax to like really settle. Let's see, what do I want to be the top? What do I want to be the bottom? So, okay, so this one is only like 6 inches wide, I think. Took the little tag off of it. And the welcome sign, I actually have 2 welcome signs. So there's one with this letter, and then I'll show you the other one. So the block letters are the new style, and I'll show you what the old style looks like. So I did order one of those because it has one little part that I really like. So this is the old style, where the letters aren't, as you can see from the W's, different style lettering. It's a different style lettering. I like the block lettering, but I also got this one to try, so I think I'll cut up this one and do it. Forgot after I've gotten, because it just came in. I'll put this in my box. And it does have the awesome sunflower with it. So I will do that as well. And this one is the E-size transfer. Yeah. E-size is the biggest size that they have. But obviously, it's an E-size transfer, but not really because you cut it into smaller pieces. So it's not like you're putting the whole thing on one. I have one that is almost all this size because it's a map. It's a global map. But you can always do sections of it as well. So, pull this out. And I'm going to end up not putting it back in this bag because I don't need a bag this big for it once I cut it down. Out the table. If you don't know about the Chocator scissors, I'm making a welcome board, and then because I still have the stuff for the beehive, I'm going to try something a little different though. I'm going to try, instead of a beehive, water bath for birds out of a terracotta pot, and hopefully that works. I'm just not sure how my hot glue is going to do on the terracotta pot itself. That's going to be, I haven't used it on anything like that. I imagine it's going to end up working. I'm just probably going to have to wait like the 24 hours at least for the E6000 on it to hold, to make sure that it bonds okay, and when I put it outside that I'm going to give it to Mom, that it's not going to fall apart on her. So I'm just cutting out my letters. And for the O, I'm actually going to use, a lot of times for the O's especially, you can substitute in, I think I'm going to substitute in the flower, but I'm going to lay them out on the board first, so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. I know some people don't cut the letters apart. I like to cut them apart, and the lines show you where you can easily cut, and the scissors are designed to cut through it because it's got silkscreen mesh running all through it, even the green area that you can't see. So they're different kinds of stencils. But I find, especially when I wash them, having the smaller ones, I just find it easier. But you don't have to. You could always just use it like this and put it into 2 pieces. So let's see, we've got W, E, L, C. And then me at the end. I'll actually show everybody how I do my welcome signs. So I stained this board like 3 times to get it the darker color that I wanted, because each time I did it, it got a little bit darker and a little bit darker. But I have one that's black, and I want to get one that's kind of like a espresso kind of color, but I don't have that color scheme yet. So there's a couple ways I can do it. I can either replace the O with the sunflower. I usually start from the bottom. So could you replace that O, replace that completely? Or I could do the O in there. But I think I want the sunflower. What do you guys think? Yes? No? Thumbs up? Go down here. And I'm going to leave a little room at the top in case I want to add any design to it, or ribbon, or something else. Alright, so I get started by putting on my transfers. And I've got my fuzzing cloth here. So if you haven't done any transfers before, I don't remember what letter goes on which sheet. I'm just going to have to remember to label them as I take them off. It'll make it easier when I go to put them back on. I won't be trying to blindly figure out what goes where. Alright, I'm going to fuzz it up a little. And again, I waxed the board just at the beginning of this video just to make sure that it didn't, to protect my transfer. So, oops. Just have a little cat hair on here. It was on the towel. Kitties must have been up here. So usually what I try to do is just line it up. And smooth it down. And then do the next letter. Yeah, you like the flower? Now I just gotta decide what color to do these in. So far mine have been pretty dark colors. So I think I'll do a mixture of orange and yellow on the sunflower itself. I just gotta figure out what I want to do on the other ones. So this is how I lined it up. I lined it up just as if they were still connected, even though they're not. Hey everybody, feel free to hit like or comment, say hey if you're popping in. Or if you're catching it on the replay, just, you can still hit like or hit replay. It will actually boost it back up on the feed, and I'll see that somebody saw the video and liked that. Oops. So the good thing about them having a sticky backing, if you see where it's lined up where you're not quite sure that that's where you want it, pick it right back up and reline it up again. I just have like barely a gap between the letters. I want to make sure that the letters are, when it's going up, that they're even, that they're not like the W over here and the E over here and it's going at different angles. So I'm going to try to get them as close together and even looking as possible. Now you can take a ruler, measure it out, put it like a line right down the middle, a line down the middle of the transfers. You can measure that all out. It just depends on how picky you want to be about it, I guess. How detailed. It's completely up to you. There's not a right way or a wrong way to do it. I could have the letters all off center, like going down. Doesn't matter. As long as you like it and it's what you want, that's good. Okay. So I've got my papaya, which is the orange color I love. And then this is Bumblebee, but I also have Golden Hour. The Bumblebee looks a little more like a sunflower kind of yellow. So what else do I got here? Anybody have any opinions on colors? I do hate, I hate picking out the colors because I want to use them all. And I would probably end up with always kind of like tie-dye, different kind of look each time if I did that. Alright, so these should be for my sunflower. Now I just need to just figure out what I want to use for the letters. Actually, I could even put a little bit of... I put a little bit of black in there just to give it a little highlight on the edge of the sunflower. We'll see how that looks. Now, because the chalk paste is water-based, if I do it and pull it off and I do not like it, I can wash it right off. It's not going to be permanent because it's chalk paste. It's not going to be permanent, but I am going to put a poly seal on it afterwards, which will make it permanent. And it will also protect it when I put this outside. So that's where we're going. And hopefully you can see good, but if not, I realized I hadn't turned the light on because it was so bright in here. The sun's actually shining today. Yay! You think I should do it in black? And then just have the sunflower pop? I could do that. Maybe. So I've got my black, but I also have black shimmer. And I could just do it in the plain black. Alright. Will do. Alright, let me grab some of my squeegees. I'm going to use, so for squeegees, there's the mini and the small. You'd think that this is large and small, but no, this is called mini, this is called small. And you can even, I cut the mini in half, but you can always cut them, they're just silicone. So I'm going to use the small one on the letters because it's going to, the larger it is, the easier it is to get it on there. It takes less time. And then I'll use the mini for the sunflower and the little small ones because I do want to get some more detail on it. And I want the yellow and the orange to mix together to give a sunflower look. But I also want to add a little black around the edge of the sunflower to kind of make that pop, or even in the middle. Hopefully it turns out the way I want. If not, I can wash it off and do it again. I know the letters will turn out the way I want, but this is the first time I've used these letters in the old style. All right, so all of my paste are the new formula. For anybody who might have had any kind of old formula, these are all new formula. And as you see, it looks like the ink. It completely looks like the ink. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. Just because I knocked some of these over when I was moving things around. And of course, it just makes it shift in the jar. I didn't get any in the lid though, so that was pretty good. All right, so... and the small squeegee does fit in the jars. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on. A little on each area. And as you can see, I already went over the edge of the transfer. It's okay, I have a little bubble down there. All I have to do to fix that is I'll just wipe it off afterwards, and I'll show you how to do that. If you wipe it off when it's still wet, it can be easier to do, but you want to make sure you don't touch any of your other stuff. I do have a bubble down there at the bottom of the E though. So now that I got my E done, I'm going to pull it up. See how that bottom part. So that bubble caused a little smear. That's very easy for me to fix though. I'm just going to throw that in my water bath. Oops. And my hot glue gun is hot. Yay. Because I've got that down there though, where is my... I'm just going to take my eraser, dip it in some water. I just want to get the bulk of this off. I'll fix it up and make it look really nice afterwards, but I just want to get nice and close to that so I can get the bulk of it off. You can also, when you're getting really close to something, you can also use a Q-tip and dip it in water. Works great. It actually works pretty great. I'm just going to dry the water off here. All right, now I'm not going to mess with that again. All right, I'm just going to keep going through the letters carefully. Since I already had one mishap. And I see this one has a bubble in it too. Oh, Right, bubble come out. Bubbles are inevitable to happen, especially if your surface isn't completely smooth. But if you get one, just pull it up a little bit. And these are nice block letters, so it's going to be easy for me to fix anything if I make a mistake. But that's the great thing about chalk paste, is that you can just wipe it off. If it was ink, I would not be able to wipe it off as easily. I'd have to pull this up immediately, try to get it off there, and hope that it could. But being that it's wood, if it were ink, I'd most likely have to sand it down to get it all off. And then I'd have to do some restaining and waxing and stuff again. So the sooner you catch something, the better. So let's see how this M looks. Not bad. You can see that there looks like there's holes in the letters, but that's actually on the silk screen. It's designed to be like that. Alright. So now we're getting a little bit more complicated because I'm going to do I think I'm going to try to get the bulk of the letters done before I do the sunflower. I'm being a little chicken on the sunflower, I think. All right, if you don't have a fuzzcloth, just use an old towel, old washcloth. It will help if I label this. Use an old washcloth, old towel, t-shirt. You can use your jeans. Just be careful. If you have pets, be careful that you may have cat hair on you or dog hair or something. It will pull that up because it is sticky on the back. And as I stick this down, I'm just going to look to make sure it looks like it's even. I'm just basically making sure that the edge of the C and the edge of these are approximately the same. And they are. I'm really going to try to make sure I don't have any bubbles in this one. Yeah. And to do the L. And I'm only fuzzing it up a little bit because I do want it to still be pretty sticky. I've got the wax on there to protect it, but the stickiness also helps with any bubbles that try to sneak in there on you, like they did on my first one. And I'm just going to stick them all down. Just make it a little easier on myself. And again, I'm really only fuzzing it twice. These are new ones that I haven't used before. What I have been trying to decide is with the welcome signs, if I want to do a second design on the back, that way people have the option to turn it around if they want. Which I could do, like if I'm doing more than one season. Could make one more like a similar one. This obviously is like probably like summer, fall with the sunflower, but I can always make one that's like a winter on the backside. Go ahead and comment if you think that if you were going to get one of these welcome signs, would you like it if the other side had a different design on it, either another variation of the welcome, or something like bless our home, or welcome to our home, or welcome to our porch, or something like that on the other side? Because it's nothing really for me to do a second design on the back. I'm just not sure if people would want that. I mean, I think I would, because then I can just turn it around and I got one thing with two designs. Also for gift giving, they have the option of which one they want to use. Alright, hopefully I've lined this up good. C is the only one I think I'm worried about. Alright, let's see. It's a little hard to tell with that sunflower. But looks like it's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to grab my little water bucket. It looks like like I'm going to be adding some more to it. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. It'll take me just a few seconds to grab this. Alright, and I'm just adding a little bit more water to my water bucket. Whoops. I want to make sure I have plenty in there because these transfers have the black paste on them and the water's already black. So I want to make sure I have plenty of water in there for that. And I can see that the E is starting to dry. I can already see the outside of it. As it dries, the color and you see like the shiny wet area dulls a bit. All right, I get my letters finished. So I'll work on my seat and then I'll go back and I'll do the sunflower last. Slide this down a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see it okay. And you're just going to do each letter. And I'm going to go, since I'm right-handed, I think I'm going to go from the W down. Less likely than I am to stick my arm in something that way. Oops. All right, and watch for air bubbles as you're doing it. So I do always forget to say that in addition to selling the finished products, I sell like this silk screen and all different chalk products. You can see them all in my photos, all the different things that I've done. But I have all the stuff where you can make it yourself if you wanted to. And the nice thing about the transfers, you can use them at least 10 times. Some I've used more than 20 times. As long as you take care of them, you're going to get a lot more use out of them. So, I do like the peel and reveal. So these are the best kind of stencils that I've ever used that I like. Other ones just seem to, that looks like my W is off to the side a little bit though. What do you guys think? Does it look like it's off to the side? I guess not. I think it is though. I think it is. All right. So I'm calling it audible and I'm adjusting these because these letters are a little longer. It's just weird. All right. Where is my pen? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that one edge is lined up a little bit more with the sunflower. Nope, that's moving it that way. All right, I might have to take that W off because I think it's too far over. It's pretty much just the letters after the sunflower that are my issue. All right, we'll see how these look, and depending on that, you may see me redo the W. We'll see. Okay, that should be much better. All right, take two. Make sure I do my E's with no air bubbles in them. You can take off as little or as much paste as you want. Some people will just take this stir stick and put like globs of it and then smooth it out with the squeegees. There's no right or wrong way to do it, whatever you like doing best. Practice, obviously, I would not say to start out with one this size. Start out with one of the little 5x7s or the little minis, which are like a, I don't know, 2x2 inch or so that you can practice. And use chalk paste before you use ink because that is pretty much completely forgivable. So if you make a mistake, you just wash it off and do it again. Right. Okay, I did two letters. Let's see. All right, let's see if my E's are lined up. I'm torn on it. I'll figure it out. If it's a little off center, I'll just keep it for my own. Okay, let's put those in there. Got one more for the C. And the more that you play with the chalk paste and the ink, the more comfortable you'll be, and just do things like this, like a little bit quicker, a little pull it off. So I've got my welcome part. I do think that W is a little off center, so I might end up redoing the W. But everything else looks good. I'm not going to use the big one anymore. I'm going to throw that in there. Now I've got my sunflower. And so I'm going to do a little mixture of the bumblebee, the papaya, and the black. And I'm going to grab my little mini squeegee, and for the black I'm going to use my little mini that I cut in half. Hey everybody, feel free to say hi. And just kind of babbling, or ask me any questions, or what you're doing today. 2 days ago we had a couple inches of snow, and today I noticed that it was going to mow the lawn last weekend. Good thing it didn't. It snowed, but you can see the snow popping through the grass, so it's definitely time that it gets done. So for the sunflower, I'm going to make the little black circle in the middle, but I am going to also give like little tips around the edge. Just because I want it to have, I don't want the black will overpower any other color. The darker colors will always overpower the lighter colors. So just be careful that you're using, I guess, like an equivalent amount. So if you're using black, remember that. Try not to pull the black on top of the lighter colors, but instead pull the lighter colors on top of the black. There, so that should just give me a little extra, and I'll keep that out just in case I need to add any more after the fact. My papaya is new. If you haven't used Chalkology before, keep the foam lid on. Stick it back in the top because it's going to protect it and help it stay fresher longer. And I haven't used my bumblebee before. So it's one of the many yellow colors. It's more of like a sunflower yellow. A little more school bus yellow too, I guess. Dandelion. Those kind of colors. Alright. So, with these, likely that the papaya will overwhelm the orange. I'm going to do a little bit different technique. Get my fingers dirty. So I'm going to actually take the yellow, stick my finger in it, and just put dots of yellow everywhere. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend in the yellow and orange together. So you can use the stir stick to do this. You can get your finger dirty and just do it with your finger. Usually I use the stir stick, but with the black on here, I'm being a little bit more cautious. I'm not too worried about how much yellow I'm putting on because the papaya is likely going to overwhelm it. Then just clean off your finger in the end. Because I'm going to stick my finger back in and do the orange that way. Oops. Just want to make sure, I have some black on my finger, so I'll make sure I want to get that off. Hey everybody. Hopefully everything's going good, Melissa. I saw your family photo. A lot of our family photos are, at not so happy events, but, we're happy to get together. Just not the reason that we're getting together, I guess. That is where most of my family has their group photos. All right. I'm just going to touch some orange down in different areas. The papaya is in orange. It's kind of almost like a pumpkin-y kind of orange. Not like a bright colored pumpkin. All right. So the way I prefer to do it is I do like a little twist to mix them together. Like this. Some people will just scrape them together. Going like this. I don't want the yellow dots to look like dots. I want them to look like they're blending in or that they're little parts of it. So that's why I do like a little bit of a swirl kind of a method. Just practice it and see what you are doing that you like. So hopefully this comes out good. Well, I have excess, but you do not want to put the excess back in the jar once you've mixed them. Usually need something to scrape it off on, but I don't want to quite get rid of all of it yet. So I'm just going to put it on the squeegee in case I need it, because it does also have like some black in there. I want to make sure I get all the excess off before I try to pull up the transfer. So I'm pretty happy with how it blended. Let's pull it up and fingers crossed. I didn't see any air bubbles, so it should look pretty good. We'll pull it up, I hope. Can you guys see it okay? With the color of the stain, I'm not sure that it's the papaya really stands out as much as I want it to. I might need to go over it with some more yellow. But hold on, I'll hold it up so you can see it. Toss that in there. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see. I might have to, after I clean the sunflower, I might have to put it down and go over it again with another color. Which will give it a little bit of a layered effect, but I think it's a little hard to see. I think the sunflower is a little hard to see. I should have used less orange. But I'll go back over it once it dries and give it a little bit more to make the color really pop on it. I actually could, one of the things I could do is I can get out my glitter. And I didn't use shimmer paste on this, but I can get out one of my darker colored glitters. If I could find what I'm looking for. So I have my little black glitter. I could put it on there. Pop the top. Well, that's weird. It's open, but the seal is stuck in there. So let me try to get this seal out. Okay. So, to try to make this stand out without losing all my orange and yellow colors, I'm going to add some glitter to it. So because it's still wet, the glitter will stick to it. So, I'm just going to put it on here. And I'm gonna need a piece of paper, plastic or something. Alright, use my O. Alright, so I'm gonna tap it down. And it stuff should remain behind and stick to the paste. And then I can add some more to it. Let's see how this does. So it's giving it a little bit more dimension. All right, try this again. Let's see how this one does. And I'm just dumping the excess glitter back on to any areas that look like they needed a little bit more. I'm just going to do the same thing. What do you guys think? Is it looking better with that? Actually, I am liking it. The excess glitter on any areas that look like they're still a little too non-colored. So if you don't get any of the shimmer paste, this is another way that you can get glitter on your projects. It's just by putting glitter on top of the chalk paste while it's still wet, and you can use obviously any kind of variety of colors. Alright, so I will wait for this to dry up, and I got one little one down there that's being a little stubborn. The funnest part about glitter, cleaning it up. Yeah. All right, see if what I can get of this back into the jar. And then I will just wait, because then I'll clean all this up with my Clorox wipe afterwards. So I did not use very much of my glitter. I got like a set of like 54 Arteza, so all different colors, and it's really fine glitter. What is it called? The premium. So I do like that. So I'll see how that looks when it gets finished, and I'll clean up the glitter on the edge once I know that this part is dry. Yay. All right. So I'm going to set this one to the side over here. And then use my Clorox wipe. Try to get the glitter up while I can. Glitter will stick on everything forever. And this is really fine stuff, so if you are working with glitter, you might want to have a space where you work with the glitter, because this is going to pick up glitter on anything else that I do if it's still on my work table. It does look like I got most of it, but it's hard to tell because it's so super fine. Get all the stuff on here that I couldn't get off before. And I've got glitter over me, of course. All right. So that takes care of my welcome board, which I do like that glitter, so I think I'm going to leave it there. Just going to have to give it extra time to dry, that I can clean up the glitter that's just on the, that's just sitting on the stain. It's not soaked in or anything. These over here. So now, make sure my hot glue gun is hot, and it is. Pull up my, so while I'm waiting for that to do, I'll show you how to clean the transfer, since kind of working on that. Once I wash them, I just let them sit out to dry, sticky side up. So as you can see from this one, sitting it in the water bath helps loosen up the chalk paste on it to get it off. And then you just use water. Water and a sponge takes it right off. So it can be any kind of water. It doesn't have to be, if you're putting any water in the jars of paste, you want to put in like distilled or bottled water, because anything can be in your top water, and if you don't use it for a while, it could start to mold, and you don't want that to happen. Alright, because my jar is all wet, I just get the little eraser a little wet, and then just going to wipe it off. The darker the chalk paste, the likelier it might stain the green part of the transfer. Doesn't hurt your transfer or your design. So where I did the black in the center, likely that's going to happen. Oops. And I'm pushing it through the silk screen that's here. So you see I push it onto that. But let's go ahead and do a little bit more. So as far as an eraser, this is like the Mr. Clean sponge is like the level 1. So that doesn't have any soap or anything in it. But you can also use Clorox wipes. And sometimes if I have black on stuff, I'll use Clorox wipes just to see if it helps. The colors I have that will tend to stain and transfer, sometimes black does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really have a rhyme or reason to it. But my colors like orange and green tend to want to stain. I don't know why. The back side, which is sticky, obviously you can see I just picked it up from that. Oops. I just spray it down. Because it should be mostly clean unless you had an air bubble in there. But because I pushed the paste through the silk screen, it got some to the back side. And when you're cleaning it off, you want to hear that squeaky sound. Squeaky means that it's still sticky. And if you're not sure you're getting an area clean, just put a little more water down and do it again. This one has really large mesh areas, so I'm gonna make sure I get them all clean and that nothing gets stuck in there. If it does, the next time you go to use it, you'll notice it because you'll have like a little spot that's missing. So, and I will also usually hang it up to make sure I got everything out of the silk screen. Which I did. And then I just set it off to the side. 15 minutes or so, it's dry enough where you can put it back on the backer that you took it off of. Alright, so let's check the hot glue gun. It's pretty much warm, but I have time to clean one more of my transfers while I'm waiting. Right. This is just a cheap water bottle I got from the dollar store. You can just dip your, I used to just do it right over the kitchen sink before I did any videos. It's just quick and easy. If you do have an eraser, which come with a lot of kits, it will get dirty. It's not impacting the eraser at all or hurting it or anything. So the seed has been sitting in the water a little bit longer. Seems to be becoming a little more cleaner as a result. So see, there's very little black on there. It stained it. So remember, squeaky means good. And just try to look at it as you're doing it. See, when the darker colors of paste will stand out more if they're stuck in there, obviously, because they're darker colors, but looks all clean. So those two will start to dry while I do my next project, and then I'll come back and clean the rest of these. Oops. I might need another towel. All right, so my hot glue gun is here and it is hot. So here's the project. Terracotta pot upside down. I have actually seen people put the solar lights in the holes here to make like a solar one too. So we'll see, because I could always, well, that could always do that as well. But so obviously it's gonna go like this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put my E6000 on this, and then I'm also gonna go through and do my hot glue, just in case it drips there. The hot glue is gonna hold it quick because it will dry quickly, and then this is gonna take at least 24 hours to bond. Oh, I can't get it open. Whoa, whoa. There we go. Okay. Right. So you'll see this comes out liquidy. I'm just gonna put a nice gob of it on there. all the way around. Put a little in here just in case. Right. And I'm just going to seal this back up. This stuff, you've got some time, unlike hot glue, so let's see if I can get my hot glue going. I'm just basically mixing the two together. The idea with the hot glue is it's going to bond quickly so that it's going to hold it while the E6000 sets. Hopefully I got enough on there. Just gonna try to center it here. Hopefully. And then I'm just gonna apply pressure to it to, I don't know, maybe a minute while the hot glue sticks on there. Because one of the other things I can do is I can always design inside of here. And then seal it before I put it outside for the birds with water. But I figured for Mom this would be nice because she can easily lift it up and clean it, wash it out. The one she had now that I got her was cement, and it was really, really hard for her to lift. It was difficult for me to lift, let alone want her to, because it was like 50 pounds. This is like pure cement. All right. All right, so let me take a look and see what the bottom looks like. I'm going to flip it upside down. What I can do is watch it because I can always add some more hot glue here around the edge if I think I need to. It looks like it's pretty centered. Could have measured it out, but I'm not too worried about that. All right, so I'm going to take my hot glue gun off now. Back. So I will let this set for at least 24 hours and then at that point I'll take a look to see if it is holding. If it is holding, then I'll look to start to design it up a little bit. So, but I think I'm going to set it the other opposite way like this. I think the bottom's a little heavier than the top, so that'll give it a little bit more pressure. All right, that's all my projects for today. I'll probably sign back on later tonight, maybe this day. Oh God, it's 7 o'clock already on East Coast time. I had to work most of the day, so time has definitely gotten away from me today, so I didn't even realize that it was like 7 o'clock. All right, I'm going to sign off. Please hit like or comment or let me know that you saw the video, or even if you caught it on a replay. If you have any suggestions, or if you have any suggestions for color in this. So my welcome sign is all dry now. I'm going to glue the glitter a little more time before I touch it. And I think that one will be done. I have to figure out a little design for the top of it. And that should be it. All right, everybody have a great Saturday. Go outside, enjoy the weather. Hopefully it's nice where you are. Up here it's in the 60s, but I know in North Myrtle Beach, my nephew is playing baseball because we could watch him online at the park. It was raining, so they were actually playing baseball in sweatshirts in South Carolina. And meanwhile, we're up here in shorts and tank tops. All right, have a great night, everyone. Bye.